What if there was something powerful enough to deny anything that stands against it? Merciless as it acts without prejudice. If such a thing does exist, what do you think it would be called? Geocentric theory was an established belief in 15th century Europe, especially as it seemed to support the religious belief that was very prominent in this era both politically and academically. Psalms 104 verse 5. The Lord set the earth on its foundation, it can never be moved, is one of two known verses that seemingly is interpreted in support of the geocentric model, where the earth is the lowest sphere in the center of the universe, having mainly the sun be moving around the planet, leading to years of politics and academia having this model as their foundation for research and belief. Heretics were burned to a crisp, and disbelievers were tortured for denying the authority of the church. In this era, where literacy was a privilege and gender was still considered in determining credibility, lies a determined group willing to deny life itself, to prove what they would call heliocentrism, which was, at the time, a heretical belief whose foundation was set where the earth does in fact move. Maybe for the flat earthers, the previous revelation might invoke their thumbs to the comment section, but to us normal people, this is pretty much general knowledge. Seeing as the setting took place when privacy was yet to be discovered, we follow the life of Rafal, a talented young boy who was raised to be the perfect prospect. Studious, kind, charismatic, and, above all, blind faith in the words of the church. It was during an insecure age where the Holy Church, despite it being, holy, had to employ inquisitors to kill everyone and anyone that goes against the religious doctrine. It was an age worst for innovation, especially for our protagonist as he was fascinated by astrology. The vast unending stars in the night sky with their inexpressible beauty and curiosity would often surface questions which, at the time, the geocentric theory wasn't able to answer. This troubled our protagonist, but what was most likely a reference to the apple and Isaac Newton, Rafal fell on his back, suddenly grasping the idea that perhaps, although blasphemous, if the earth were to be the observer rather than the one being observed, it is possible that the earth as we speak is in fact rotating. Now, how do you know the belief you worship is truly the one that is true? How much are you willing to sacrifice to prove such a belief? These questions are what our characters had to face in the journey of proving the heliocentric theory. I found this anime boring in the first few episodes, but as the anime progresses, the stakes of protecting and delivering their faith just became larger and larger as more characters, for the sake of spoilers, I'll just say had their faith tested, making you invested on what they believe is true and what will actually become of all their sacrifices. Another aspect I love about this anime is that the fact it was able to approach the subject matter from both secular and religious perspectives. Take episode 1 for example. A character made an interesting statement. I wouldn't want to live in a world that isn't beautiful, as it wouldn't have been from God, suggesting that his core belief in the divine relies on existing creations, combining both secular and spiritual faith, proving the divine through visible matter rather than just blind aspiration. Thus, what will become of the characters we follow suddenly creates more narrative meaning, fear, novelty, humility. The anime conveyed such complex emotions through its characterization as its characters understand the limits of their fleeting life, acknowledging that they are but witnesses to history, and what decisions that come with the fact was what, in my opinion, made this anime mesmerizing. Some might even say poetic, as it portrayed what you can call a beautiful irony. We would bear witness to these characters' ideals and philosophies, yet in each of their ends, they would contradict their convictions, exposed and bare in the face of truth. To which, if you haven't caught up, is the answer to the opening question. It is rare enough for us to get a historical anime, let alone one that is this well made. Giving us both a history lesson and captivating characterization, I could have gone on a deep rabbit hole on more topics relating to this anime, but my thesis deadline is closing in, so yeah, that's it for me. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.